at Conrad Farms in Bixby, and joining me is Vernon Conrad. Well, Vernon, your farm here has quite a bit of history. Tell me about that.
Well, this farm here, we moved about 1938, and before that we farmed across the river to at the experimental station.
Oh, yeah. We still work there today.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And your father started the farm originally?
Yeah, my father started this farm down close to the river. He bought like 40 acres, I think it was, back in the early, like 1935 or 6, somewhere in there. He farmed down there, and then he told the banker, he said, try to find a farm for sale down here. And the banker came over to where Dad was farming and told him about this place here. So anyway, this was like a cattle farm here back then.
Good and fertile soil for you.
Well, the way Dad figured out it was really good, it was in, I think, August, and the weeds were like 10 foot tall, really. They were like 10 foot tall, and he said if it'll grow weeds this time of year that tall, it's got to be good. So.
And
anyway,
today you and your two brothers continue to operate the farm?
Eugene and Melvin, yeah, we do. And then, you know, like Eugene's wife, she's a bookkeeper and different ones. It's just a family farm, yeah.
And you have about 400 acres now in production?
Yeah, approximately 400 acres.
How many
of
different crops do you grow?
Probably 30 different varieties. 30 different crops, and each crop has different varieties in it, like squash. There's 5 or 6 different varieties of squash. And corn, we grow 6 different varieties of sweet corn, from yellow corn to white corn, 2 varieties of white corn, bicolor corn, and then the old variety that we grew when I was like 30 or 40 years ago, Merit sweet corn.
Yeah,
keep old
that
varieties
one alive.
like that. Yeah. Because there's a lot of old timers, you know, that's what they want.
Yeah.
They want.
Well, and a lot of your customers have been coming here for years and years.
There's customers that I learn about probably each week that'll say, well, I used to come here with my grandma, or something like that, you know. So, but they may be real young, but they still cook the same way their mama or grandma cooks.
Wonderful.
See?
And you have a market.
Yeah, we have a market here, and we listen to our customers. If they want certain crops planted for them, I'll just say, well, sure, I'll do that if I can.
So we're standing in an example of that.
Well,
you're telling me
this
about
year
the
is
kohlrabi.
And one of our customers on that, well, he was the veterinary that I took my dog to, and he said, would you grow me like 2 or 3 flats of kohlrabi so he could transplant it out? And I said, sure, I'll do that. So then I'd always have some left over, so I just transplanted it out in the field. And it's a pretty good little crop, you know. You don't want very much, but a lot of people.
Well, that's the nice thing about knowing your farmer and knowing where your food comes from and establishing a relationship.
Here. Well, a lot of customers though don't know that we got the market up there, but they don't necessarily know that we got all this land here that we can grow just anything almost they want.
You better watch out. People are going to be asking you to grow.
Well, they probably will. It's like strawberries, you know, or different kind of, well, there's grapes and blackberries and all those that we could grow, except we're getting kind of old to start out a new crop, because they say that some of those vines will live 25 years. So, you know, you got to be careful.
You focus mostly on the vegetables.
Yeah, mostly on the spring vegetables, and then you have your summer vegetables like tomatoes and okra, and you can grow cucumbers all summer long if you can irrigate them, you know, once in a while. And squash, you can grow that all summer. And then in the fall you have your, like spinach, you grow that in the fall, and mustard greens, and you know, there's a lot of, you just got to know when to plant each different kind of vegetable.
So a lot of home growers lately have been tricked by the weather.
Right, yeah.
Have you guys had any problems with that?
Well, this year, most time I try to outguess the weather, but this year I didn't. But it worked out perfect, because it was, you know, it got cold there for 2 or 3 weeks in April. Well, I had slowed our production down to where when that was over with, I had transplants ready to go to the field with.
Yeah.
And,
So sometimes you win and
yeah, I
sometimes
know.
you
It's
lose.
just like gambling, only worse probably.
So you have a claim to fame here at Conrad Farms. You used to have the world record
Yeah,
watermelon.
I had it with 2 different watermelons. Well, actually more than that, but there was one year I grew the world record in '83, and then the next year I broke my own record with 5 different watermelons, starting at 222, going all the way up to 255.
Nowadays,
So,
you don't grow the giant watermelons, but you do
No.
grow melons for market,
yeah,
right?
we grow melons for market, and I quit growing the giant watermelons because it costs a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
If you had a crop failure, you wouldn't make anything. So we just grow several different varieties, 2 different varieties of seedless watermelons, and about 3 different varieties of just regular watermelons, so that, you know, anybody's taste, they can get whatever they want.
Yeah. And you start
So-
those in the greenhouse.
Yeah, I start
and
them in the greenhouse.
transplant them out into the
Right,
field.
Yeah, and
Well-
that's what we're getting ready to do today, is when we get through picking peas, I'll have the crew come pull the plants and we'll set out all those plus cantaloupes.
Well, I'll have to come back later this summer to try one of
Yeah,
your
'cause we
world
grow
famous
the
melons.
world's best.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much,
You're
Vernon.
welcome.